Hey you guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I'm going to need you guys to strap in today. This is going to be an informational heavy video, and we are going to talk about why people call me the points queen. The whole reason that I wanted to make this video is because last year we went to Colorado for a concert at Red Rocks, and I pretty much used points and then cash that I earned on the side outside of my regular job to pay for almost the entire trip. So we're talking the round trip flight, the rental car, part of the Airbnb, part of the concert tickets, and then the spending money that we used in between those events. I pretty much did that entire trip for me and my husband for free. So today I'm going to go over some of the things that you can do in order to gain some free money, in order to do some extra things in your life. But before we get into the top 3 ways of doing that, I do have a couple points that I want to go over that are very important for this topic. Number 1 being, it's very important that you have like a stable income. I know we're talking about free money here, but this is kind of free money that you are gaining on top of the regular money that you are already spending. A lot of these tips that are going to be in this video don't really work unless you have like actual income coming in, because all of the bonus money that you are going to be earning is going to be coming from that income that you are spending to live your normal life. So we're just trying to build extra money off of the money that you're already spending in order to do some extra fun things and live like a little bit more lavishly than you would just spending your regular income and not doing these things. Number 2, and we're going to talk about this several times throughout the video, but you need to be diligent. There is a level of self-education and a level of diligency that needs to be used throughout these methods. If you are the type that kind of lives on the edge and kind of just goes with the flow and doesn't do any planning or anything like that, this might not be for you. But if you do have the tendencies to like plan ahead and think about what you're doing, especially finance-wise, this may be helpful for some of the things that maybe you're not thinking of. And number 3, you have to be patient. So of course, things don't happen overnight. There are some things in here where it's going to be kind of tempting to, oh, hey, you've earned enough points or money doing these things that I'm going to teach you in the video today to earn like a $5 Amazon gift card. Do what you want with this free money, but if you want to weigh out the return of some of these things, is spending the points and or money that you gained from doing all of this work worth a $5 credit on like a $10 doodad that you're buying on Amazon that you're just going to forget about in a month? So I would say be patient. You want to let these things grow just like you would any investment. You get to use them on something that actually counts, something that you wouldn't be able to get with a large chunk of money that you don't have normally. What are the 3 things? Stable income or some sort of income. 2, diligency. You have to be diligent. And like I said, we are going to repeat that throughout this video. And 3, be patient. Let's think about these things before you go girl wild on all your spending. Also, before we jump in, I want to mention that I'm going to have referral links to almost everything that I talk about below if there is one, but I'm not going to go into it in detail in the video because this is already information heavy. So I will have all referral links and reward things down in the description box. So if you sign up for something that I might mention, like one of the apps or something, you might get some cash up front. I'll just put all that in the description box because it's a lot of information and we're just going to try and go through this as fast as we can. And with that being said, let's jump in to the top 3 ways to free money. The first topic that we are going to discuss. Listen, they're already harvesting your information unless you are living under a rock. Somehow your information on your purchasing habits, your lifestyle habits, they are being farmed in order to fuel more consumption, commercialization, all that kind of stuff. You might as well take advantage of some of those things that they are offering to you in order to farm some more of that information because they're going to get it anyway. I like to think of myself as a maximization queen on points points for the apps. And a lot of these apps you've probably already heard of. But the first app category that we're going to talk about is do use the ones of the places that you frequent the most. Now, these are probably not the big name apps that you see advertisements for or anything, but these are like the small grocery stores, the gas stations, the drugstores, all the things that you kind of use normally in your life. So my example for this category is the racetrack app. Now, I know not everybody has like the racetrack gas stations where they live, but if you do, it's very cool if you download the app. So Racetrack is one of the gas stations that I frequent most of the time. If I'm not buying my gas from like a warehouse club where I can get like a super discount, I am going to Racetrack because there are a lot around and there's a lot like, you know, in my pathway to work and whatnot. So I usually do stop there and get gas, and I am one of the members of their app. And every time I fill up with gas or buy something inside the gas station, I put in my phone number and it routes to my app, which then kind of gets points for every dollar that you spend. And then those points are converted to a free merchandise that you can get inside the store, and it ups you in tier level. Now, I am currently sitting at the highest tier level I have been for the last 2 years, which they call Sultan. And so I get a free drink any size, any day that I go into the gas station. So it's really nice sometimes on the weekends when I need to run in and get something or running at gas and I'm like, oh, I want a Coke Icy. I'm just gonna get one and I don't have to pay for it. But also with the reward points, I can use them for items inside the gas station. So if we're going to talk about that Denver trip, one of the examples is I used points on our way to the airport before we left for Colorado, and we grabbed some breakfast at the gas station, and I just redeemed points so we did not have to pay any money to get our breakfast that we ate on the way to the airport. That is the way that I use like my personal local apps. And so if you have something like that, I would probably suggest that you kind of utilize that. You just have to make sure, again, that you are doing it every time that you visit said business. So I make sure every time I pump gas, I put in my phone number, or anytime that I'm buying something at the counter, they scan my app. So then you can just accumulate those points and then you get to reap the benefits. The second app that I want to talk about, these ones you may have seen ads for because they are pretty big, but I have been able to maximize them like pretty well. And so like, I just want to share them with you in case you have not downloaded them. Again, I'm going to have all the links in the description box, but these are really helpful apps and I have some stats that I can show you. The next one is of course Fetch. You've probably heard this from a million YouTubers. I am not sponsored, but I use the app religiously. Fetch is really, really great because you just take a picture of a receipt and then you scan it and it gives you like 25 points as the baseline. And if they have some specials on products that you buy, they give you even more points. Like I remember this one time I bought like a pack of Skittles at Racetrack and I got the receipt and then I scanned it and they were doing like a bonus of like, you got 3,000 points if you bought Skittles. And so when I scanned the receipt, I was like, oh, sweet, I got $3 from that. Another good thing about Fetch is that you can link it to different accounts. So I have it linked to my Walmart and my Amazon and also my Sam's Club. So anytime you make a purchase, they have a little button that you can press for e-receipt, and then they can scan those particular apps and then also get money. I probably make the most money back on Fetch from that because, you know, I order so much from Amazon, and then every time they see that I made an order, they just go ahead and scan it, and then I get 25 points for like every one of those. Like, it was pretty cool. I also just recently learned that you can play games from inside the app. It's kind of like you go to the game, you download it, and then you play it, but it's not actually in the app. But when you complete certain levels and stuff of like just regular like match games and stuff, it's just normal games that you have on your phone. You can get points, and they have like bonus days. Like this one time, like I beat a level and I got like $5, like, you know, playing the game or whatever. And then when you're ready to cash out on Fetch, you can use it for different store department cards, or I think they also give you like Visa cards that you can use like at any place. But right now on my Fetch app, I have $107.04, I think, 40 cents on my app right now that I just have sitting there, and I can cash that out any way that I want. If I want to get a Sephora gift card, if I want to get an Ulta gift card, if I want to just get a Visa gift card so that I can use it. But I have been using the Fetch app a lot, and I can rack up the points. So right there is $107 that is just sitting there, and I earned that from just doing the work of scanning my receipts and playing the game and all the stuff that I would be spending my money on normally in order to just live my normal life. And now I have $107 just sitting in there, and it's mine. Again, I'll have the Fetch referral link in my description box, so I would check that one out. The next app that I want to talk about is Get Upside. You also might have seen this one around. Get Upside is great because it is linked to certain gas stations, and it just so happens that Racetrack is one of those gas stations. So I'm able to double dip on the Racetrack app and Get Upside, and we will talk about stacking later on in the video. But the Get Upside app is gas and also restaurants. I do not utilize the restaurants part of it very much, but it has come in handy a couple times. There was one time I was in New York City, and I was meeting a friend at a ramen restaurant, and I had some time to kill, and I was like, I wonder if that ramen restaurant is in the Get Upside app. And it turns out that it was, out of just crazy. It was in there. So I clicked that I wanted to claim the offer, and then my friend and I went and we had drinks and dinner, and we racked up like this huge bill, and then I scanned that receipt and I got like freaking $12 back or something for that in the Get Upside app. So I don't use the restaurants like a lot, but I know they have like a lot of pizza places and Chinese places and stuff like that in there. So it's worth a look, but I really do use it for the gas, because what they do on the gas is certain gas stations have deals with them. So like for Racetrack, when I buy regular gas, I click the claim that I want to get 12 cents back per gallon. So let's just say I put 10 gallons in my car, they put $1.20 into my Get Upside account. That one is really easy to use, and I like that one a lot. You have to store your card information in it so that when you pull up to a gas station, you open the app, you see that it's one of the gas stations participating, you click on it, and it says claim this offer, which is like, 12, 14. There was one time I had like 31 cents back a gallon. That was freaking great. But then it says use linked card, and so you have to pick the card that you're going to pay with and everything. This is the work that is involved in order to earn free money using these things that you would be spending money on anyway. So in my Get Upside app, I actually have $272.33 sitting in there. Again, this doesn't happen overnight, but constant use. Right now, what are we up to? We're almost up to $400 in just 2 apps that is just sitting there for me to use whatever I want. And the nice thing about the Get Upside app is you can put that money straight into your bank account. There is an option when you go to redeem that you can just put it right into your bank account. You'll put in your checking account number, and then they'll just deposit it to you, which is a really nice feature. So again, I'll have the Get Upside referral link in the description box, but that one has been a really good one. And as you can see, I have almost $300 in there. The last app that I want to talk about is Ibotta. Everybody has heard about Ibotta, and Ibotta like fell out like a little bit ago, but it is definitely back, and I have been crushing it with Ibotta. Why have I been crushing it? Because I installed the browser extension onto my computer. This is another example of the work that you have to do in order to gain this money. I know a lot of you, when you want to buy something, it's very easy to pick up your phone and oh, I want that right now. And then you pay for it, and you get the satisfaction, and that's great. But another thing that I can suggest to you is if you have these browser extensions on your computer and you're going to buy something, wait until you can use your computer and activate those browser extensions to see if you're going to get anything back. It's almost like any website I go to, Ibotta is on it, and I can get 3% back, 7% back, 10% back. And then especially if you are going to make a sizable purchase, you should really take advantage of those cashback offers. Like I go onto Macy's.com just to browse around, and they're like, hey, 8% back. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily make me want to buy something, which I think is what their game is. But if I am going to buy something, like if at Home Depot, I'm like, I know I need to order X whatever to do something to the house, and I go to homedepot.com, and then Ibotta pops up and it's like 9% cash back. I'm like, sweet, because I was going to pay for this anyway. Now, my Ibotta bank, pretty big here, guys. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. I have $452.30 sitting in my Ibotta bank right now. And if you can see in the corner there, I've actually earned $886.46 in my lifetime. But for that Colorado trip, what I did was I did withdraw like $300 out of Ibotta, and I put it into my bank account. And then that's what we used to like eat dinner, buy souvenirs, like that type of thing. So I didn't have to spend spend any of my own money to like have some fun during the vacation, for that, I used some of the cash that I had sitting in my iaueopr account. Again, I'll have my referral link in the description box. And if you can, please do the work into going onto your browser in order to utilize some of these cashback features, because as I just showed you, it actually works. That closes section 1 on the apps, on how to earn free money. This is probably the easiest step for people because, you know, the apps are available to everyone and everyone shops and everyone does this stuff. So if you have any questions regarding the apps section, leave me a comment in the comment box and I will try and help you as much as I can. But let's move on to the second section. I know this section is not going to be for everyone, and I need to have a huge disclaimer in order to move on with this because I don't want to get anyone in trouble and you have to be responsible. I just happen to have the personality that keeps track of their money very, very closely. If you are going to use a credit card, you need to treat it like a debit card. And I do not say this lightly. I do not want you going and trying to get a new credit card if you have no credit card experience, if you have experience with a credit card and it is not good, or if you do not have the funds to pay it daily. It is very important that you pay off your credit card balance daily if you are going to do this step. However, this step is very, very lucrative in a points or cash gaining category. I have like semi kind of mastered the way that it is done, but it's only because every morning when I get into work, before anyone gets in there, I get there super early, I open up my bank account and then I open all 4 of my credit card accounts and I pay off the balance. I don't care if the balance is $9.08. I pay it right there and it comes out of my checking account. I balance my checking account every day and I pay off my credit card balances every day. It is very important that you do that. You know, credit cards can get you into trouble, but if you are responsible and diligent, you can use them to your advantage and really take advantage of some of the offers that they are giving you. And this is really the big chunk of that Colorado trip that we took. I was able to get both flights there and back for both Hubs and myself for free. I was able to get the rental car for free, and then I paid for half of the concert tickets and half of the Airbnb on these credit cards using points. So I really didn't have to spend a lot to take that vacation because I utilized these credit card points. But please, please, please understand that this does not just happen with you just spending money. You have to pay the balances off every day. And I don't care if stuff is pending, you minus that from your checking account. If you do not have that money in your checking account, you do not use that credit card. I cannot stress this enough. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but if you are responsible and you have good use of credit cards, some of these techniques will definitely help you. I have 4 credit cards to talk about and I rotate through all 4 of these. I own all 4 of them. I use all 4 of them for specific needs on how I want to maximize my money. The first one that I want to talk about is the Capital One Venture One card. The nice thing about this one, no annual fee, and you get rewarded in miles. And the miles are subjective. They can be used for flights, but they also can be used for a lot of different things. It's almost like a dollar figure when you start accumulating these points. Basically, when you have the points bank in your thing, if you take 2 zeros over, that's how much cash you have. So it's kind of like 1,000 points on your Capital One Venture One card is worth $10. So if you had a 1000, you move the decimal point over 2, that's $10. That's kind of how it works for the Capital One Venture One card. Really easy with the Capital One card to accumulate those points because they give you 1.25 points for every dollar that you spend, but they also have like 2 points on, you know, food or whatever. They have like bonuses and stuff in there. The Capital One card, and then I am going to be talking about an Amex, are the 2 that I kind of use as my debit cards. So on daily purchases, gas, groceries, that type of thing, those are the 2 cards that I use in order to kind of do my daily life. What I like about the Capital One Venture One card is you can use the points kind of as a payback for any travel expense. Now, I know there's other cards out there where you can only use the points on flights or rental cars or anything like that, but the Capital One is so nice because When you make a purchase on it, they give you the option to pay for that purchase in particular with the points that you have on any travel expense. So you can use hotels.com, you can use Priceline, you can do Ubers. If you pay for an Uber somewhere and you have enough points to pay and you say, I want to pay for travel with my points, you click that button, your Uber charge will come up, and then you say, I want to pay with points with that. Anything related to travel is going to be able to be covered by those points. A lot of cards, you have to kind of like do a rental car through their system, and then that typically point turnover isn't like the best deal. But like for the Colorado trip, I did a rental car on Priceline and I got a really good deal on a car for a week. It was on Priceline, it was about $200. And then I just went ahead and paid that Priceline charge with the points. So I used 200,000 points to pay for that rental car. So $200 that I did not have to spend out of my checking account. So I really do like the Capital One Venture card. I think it is really good and it's user friendly. But again, please adhere to all of the disclaimers about using a credit card. Let's move on to the next one. The next card I want to talk about is the Discover It card. This one I feel like is a really good beginner friendly card. No annual fee. They have a lot of like card designs, like really fun. Like my husband's is a cassette tape. Like it's cute. But what's nice about the Discover card is every quarter they run specials on 5% cash back. Now this card I use as my concert ticket bucket card. When they have a quarter special, so like January through March, they'll say we're giving 5% back on all Amazon purchases. So every quarter I check what the specials are and I activate them. And so from January to March, any Amazon purchase I make, I put on the Discover card. And then what that does is every Amazon purchase you make, you get 5% back, put into a little bank in your Discover card, and you can use that to do kind of whatever you want with. I think it's mostly to just pay off the balance of like buying other things, which is kind of what we're doing. So when I have like $150 in there, I will go ahead and buy like concert tickets with that Discover card and then use the bank that I have accumulated. So that way I don't have to spend the $150 out of my regular checking account. Like right now, their special for this quarter is 5% cash back on any gas station purchase and any utilities. So currently for July, August, and September, they're doing 5% back on all utilities. I've also been paying my electric and gas bills with the Discover card and racking up that 5% back because like my electric bill is like $140 in the summer and I'm getting 5% cash back just using the Discover card to pay that. And so it's just a really good way to like rack up that internal Discover bank and then I can use it to buy my next concert tickets. I think I do have a referral link for that Discover card in the description box. Again, that one's a really nice, easy, beginner-friendly one because there's no annual fee and it's kind of geared to like be like just a multi-use card. I really do like that one, but I only use that one in the quarter specials. Like if they're doing 5% back on home improvement stores, I'll use it, but that's not my day-to-day card, which is why I kind of just use it as my concert bank card. Again, disclaimer, must be diligent, pay it off daily. I sign into all of these every day and I pay off the balance. If it's pending, I still minus it from my checking account because if I don't have the money, I'm not using it. The next card I'm going to gloss over because I used to use it very, very much, but I have since not used it that much because of some things that have changed. That is the Southwest Chase card. I used to fly Southwest a lot because Atlanta has a hub for it and it kind of flew everywhere. And the Chase card was great because you earned the miles or points or whatever to use on Southwest flights. And the thing I'll give about it is the point conversion is very generous. Unlike the Delta card that we're going to talk about next, the point conversion for the Southwest card is very nice. You rack up points very fast and the Southwest points flights are very, very cheap. So I still have it open. I believe it's a $69 fee. I do have it open because I use it to travel to New York when I want to see my friends. So basically, like within the last 5 years, I've never paid for a flight to go to New York. And then I want to say 2 years ago, my husband and I flew to Las Vegas for free on this card using Southwest. It used to be great. I can fly round trip to New York by myself for like 10,000 points, and it's so easy to get like 300,000 points on the Chase card. It's just like they rack up so fast, and then the Southwest flights are so cheap. It used to be great, and I still have it open, but I have noticed since Southwest have like changed some things, the available flights they're not it. They used to have so many, and now I don't know what happened with their change, the company change. It's really hard to find a lot of nonstop flights now, and the times that they're going in and out of certain cities so I don't use it as much anymore. But if you do fly Southwest a lot, it is a really easy card to rack up points on, and then the conversion rate is very generous. So it's a good one to use. I'm just not using it heavily anymore because now that I'm older, the flight times and stuff are very important to me, and like convenience, and Delta just has like way better options. And that's when we're gonna get into my Delta card. All right, this is the last credit card that we're talking about. We're going to talk about the Delta card. This one is the Delta Amex that I have. I used to have the Delta Amex Gold, and it changed from a $99 annual fee to a $150 annual fee, and I wasn't cool with that. I'm not using the flights enough to warrant a $150 fee, so I called them and I was like, I want to close the card, and they were like, oh, don't close it. We'll just put you to the blue card, which has a no annual fee, and we'll just transfer all your points. And I was like, sold, with the Delta Amex card. This is the one that I was able to use for the Colorado trip. Actually, we used this and the Southwest card, but I used my points on my Delta card to fly first class. Hubs and I flew first class to that Colorado trip. It was amazing. Delta flights are amazing. Food selection and just the treatment of how first class experience was amazing. And again, we didn't spend one dime in order to have that experience. So that was really, really cool on the Delta card. And then on the flight back, we used the Southwest card, which, we were done with our trip. We weren't trying to be as fancy, so we used the Southwest card and bought flights on the way back, so we didn't have to pay any money, and so we just did it that way. The Delta card is really, really nice because it's American Express, and it kind of trains you to have to pay on time, and so you should pay it off daily, like I said, but Amex will definitely penalize you if you do not pay off in your term. So they will really rack up your interest rate and fee you to the bone if you do not pay it off. So if you want to learn how to really manage your money on a credit card, the Amex card is definitely for the more serious people, and that's why it's last in this category. But I do use it as my debit card daily because I'm very good at paying it off. I pay that thing off every day, and I use it for all of my everyday expenses. I use it on gas stations, groceries, my Amazon if I don't have a promo running. That's the one that I do every day because the point conversion is a little bit steep. Their flights are very point expensive, so I want to rack up as much as I can. So that is the card that I use day to day, along with the Capital One, depending on the promos that are running. So that is going to end the credit card section of this video today. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will try my best to answer any questions for you. But again, I cannot stress enough, if you do not have good history with paying credit cards, skip this entire section. But it is the way to maximize the biggest usage. Like I said, I got all those free flights. I got the free rental car. You can use it to pay for the Airbnb because it's a travel expense. Like there's just so much that you can do if you are smart about utilizing credit card points. Like I said at the beginning of the video, try and save them up so that you can have big bangs in your life. I understand if you have enough points to pay off a $12 credit card statement balance, and you're like, oh, I have enough points to pay off $12 on my credit card. How about save that $12? Pay that $12 with the $12 that you were supposed to have in your checking account when you made that purchase, and then bank the points so that you can do something grand like fly first class across the country. All right, we are getting into the final stretch of this, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. This last section is the importance of stacking. So stacking is going to maximize everything that we talked about thus far in this video, and it's the most beneficial when you are using everything that we talked about. What do I mean by stacking? If you haven't figured it out, it's using multiples of those deals all in one transaction so you can maximize the cash back or the points bonuses that you are using on the stuff that you are already buying. So let's run through a real life scenario of how I stack. Let's do an example. I'm getting gas at Racetrack. I am going to use my app to earn points in the Racetrack app that I can use in the future for free merchandise, free food, whatnot. Then while I'm at Racetrack, before I get the gas, I'm going to open my Get Upside app. I'm going to choose that Racetrack, and then I'm going to choose the card that I'm going to pay for it in the Get Set Upside app. Now, if I have a card that is running 5% back on gas station purchases that day, I'm going to utilize that card. Not only am I getting the 13 cents back a gallon on the Get Upside app, I am going to get the 5% cash back on the credit card for this purchase of gas that I had to make regardless if I was going to be getting any money back. So that is kind of like a triple stack on how you can maximize one purchase that you would be doing normally. I'm going to be getting the Racetrack app points to use in the future. I'm going to be getting the free cash back and Get Upside from the money back per gallon. And I'm going to be getting either points or cash back on the credit card that I'm going to use in the Get Upside app. So I'm getting 3 cash points back in one transaction, and you want to try and do that with every purchase that you make. You have to self-educate yourself and figure out, how am I going to maximize everything that I have, all of the tools available for me on a purchase. Now, things like gas every day, pretty easy. But also, if you are going to be making a big purchase, I would suggest sitting down and figuring out what is the smartest way to do that. Let's just say you are buying appliances at Home Depot. Like, I need a new washer dryer set. I am ready to spend $2,500 on something for the house. Let's sit down and think about, how is the best way to do that? You may have a credit card that is giving you 10% back on Home Depot purchases, but the only way you can do that is do it online. So maybe you want to go that route. Maybe you open up online and you're using that credit card to get the 10% cash back, and Ibotta pops up and they're like, we're giving 7% back at Home Depot. So then you stacked the points you're getting back on your credit card and the Ibotta app, so you're getting free money 2 ways. And on a big purchase like that, some of the rewards can be very beneficial for you. Whew, I need a drink of water. That was a lot, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and listening to me about maybe some of these things in order how to maximize your free money. Again, we're all spending money daily. This is like a very super consumption world, and I have just tried to figure out how to maximize the money that I'm spending. This is like my hard-earned money. I just have a regular job like everyone else. I'm not like, I barely make any money on YouTube. I mean, we're talking like $100 every 6 months. Like, I'm not making money on YouTube. I have a regular job that I get paid every 2 weeks. It's a very, median salary. I am not making like a ton of money. So I am trying to figure out how I can make the money that I do have to spend work for me. And I think that a lot of people, if they could just sit down, take the time, educate themselves, figure out a plan on how I am going to maximize what I have, I really do think a lot of people could take advantage of something like this. People all the time say I'm such a points queen. Like, when I go out, I'm pulling out my phone, I'm checking the deals, and they're like, oh yeah, I just don't want to do that. And I'm like, well, that is you. And that is why you are not able to go to Las Vegas for free for a week when you want to. And that is totally fine. I understand there are a lot of people that don't have the personality that it takes to like nitty grit, like all the stuff it takes in order to do these types of things. But if you are a detail-oriented person and you are responsible with your money and your time and just have a value attached to everything that you have, some of these tips could really get you, to an all-inclusive vacation one day, or it could get you, a $250 shopping spree at Sephora. Like, these are the things that you have to kind of work towards. But like I said, nothing is ever free. You gotta put in the work. That's all I have for you today, guys. If you could please like this video, it really does help me out. Again, I will have all referral codes that are available in the description box. And if you have any questions about any of these techniques, you can leave me a comment. I will do my best to get back to you when I have the time. And if you can subscribe, That would be awesome. This isn't the normal type of content, but this is something that I wanted to share with you because I wanted to get this video out of the way, because what I am going to do with all that money that I showed you at the beginning in the apps, I am going to withdraw that and I'm putting it in a high yield savings account. That's your bonus tip right there. If you make all this money and then you just have nothing to do with it right away, I am withdrawing it all and putting it in a high yield savings account. And then in the next couple months, that shit is going to be making money for me. So it's extra free money on top of free money on top of free money. What else could you ask for? I love you guys so much. I will see you on the next one.